All right, guys, how you doing? We are back at it today, doing our recap. So as you can see, we had a good day today. 1,174 bucks. After commissions, probably be about 1,100 bucks. It's obviously a really great day, and I'm happy about the result. But I feel like I left a lot on the table, and I could have made quite a few more profits on the day. Um, there were some opportunities and there was a lot of momentum. We had the Georgia runoff last night for the Senate, control of the Senate. Looks like the Democrats are going to have control of the House and the Senate. So people were worrisome about that. I'm happy, but I know there was more opportunity, and we'll start here with QS. So you guys remember this yesterday in my video. Okay, what we talked about was this being on watch, right? I talked about how we had this window here to 84. We had this gap entry of the window here at 61. And actually, I'm going to just pull out a bigger chart so we can see this in more detail. So we're looking at QS. Okay, so we can see as I pull this out here, right? It's a 5-minute chart. So we've got the window here, right? And then here. So this is the gap down that it had overnight on no news. And so yesterday I was talking about how this is going to be something I wanted to watch, and if it held over 61, that it was going to be, I think, a good setup. And so it opened and it had a nice move out of the open, which I did trade initially. Unfortunately, I didn't get filled on my all my shares. So I think I had 200 shares. I was trying to get filled 400 at the open because I really liked the way this looked and everything else. Anyway, so I got a couple of points off that. Could have been a really, really big winner there. Did get some profit. Could have been a bigger winner. Anyway, so then it had a really sharp pullback. This, could have got caught in that. Luckily, I didn't. So I was already out with profit at that point. But this is the whipsaw at the open. And then so it started to push up and then failed, but it held. Okay, so the low of the day was 60.65, but it got bought right back up from 60.90 here to 63. You can see that really strong buying come in, right? And then it reclaimed the VWAP and then moved sideways again. Senators convened in Congress. So this moves sideways, move sideways, move sideways, right? And as soon as it started to break out here, right, it just took off. And look where this, so we see that the low essentially is a 61. It held 61 as well, which I talked about yesterday on the pre-market. And then what did I say that our target was potentially going to be? The 20-day EMA, 75.39. Now it's not exact. Sometimes EMAs differ slightly, but anyways, I said my target was about 75 bucks on this stock. Where does this go to? 74.50. So from 61, I call that 61 as support and 75 as resistance. That's pretty damn good to be within 50 cents on a $14 move, right? Well, more than 14 bucks, but 14 within that window. I'm a little bit upset as well because I took the swing on QS and I meant to sell 1/3 of my position at 68.50 as we came up here, and it sold my whole position. That's my fault. It's my error. But you can see it ended up pushing another $6 higher, which is frustrating because I probably would have taken some more profit on the way up and then exited right around the top there because it went obviously according to plan. But this is the beauty of technical analysis and technical trading. When it's working well, we can see this channel, right? So this channel is resistance. We see it testing this resistance line all the way up. I had this drawn out. And then it hit this, pulled back, right? And then it came up through here and it tested this level, right? We can see it testing here. And it broke through. And then it came after it broke through this level. So this is the line that I'm talking about here. I'll make this orange. So this is it's resistance, but then here it bounces off of it as support. Now the resistance has become support, and then this is now an indication to me that this is going to push higher, right? It's already up at this point a huge amount, but I figured that it was going to start pushing towards the 20 EMA because it had turned its resistance to support. And so we see the bottom of this channel, right, is right here. So it might even pull back to here now. I'm not saying for sure, but there's, it's potential, or it can make a higher low up here somewhere, and or bounce off of VWAP and continue higher up. But I think that it's likely that it's going to hit to this $84 mark over the next few days. So, but this is, like I said, the beauty of technical analysis. I did trade this a few times on the way up, like I said, but if I had just held, 200 shares from, 61 to 70, that would have been, obviously a bit better day than I had. And, it probably would have been stress-free. But the good thing is that we talked about this yesterday and the result came through today. So some other ones, I felt like I was really seeing things pretty well today. CLSK was a daily breakout, right? We see this on the daily here. Its highs here, 30.75. And so it broke out from that, and we can see here, it bounced off support in the 9 EMA and then pushed higher, pulled back, pushed higher. So this has made a really nice move. I was considering this one for a swing as well. But I made the move today. This is in response to a lot of the renewable energy. Cannabis was moving today, and Bitcoin stuff was moving as well today. So those were the three names that I had on watch at the open, and because they were associated with the Democrats potentially being in the White House or in the Senate. So another one that I analyzed correctly, but didn't hold as long as I could have, was Mara here, MARA. This is a Bitcoin associated name. And so it broke out of the pre-market highs here at the open. Nice move, surged up, held the VWAP, pulled up higher, tested the high day, rejected it, and then I got long for the third test, and it broke through, made a nice move up to 1672 from this 1630 mark. Took a bit bigger size on that than I normally would, because this tends to be a little more thickly traded name, meaning that there's not a lot of volatility in the moves. You're not going to have a 50-point drop or a 50-cent drop out of nowhere. It's going to be more of a grind movement, but it does sometimes take a toll when you switch from trading these momentum names like QS to things that grind up a little slower. And I think I probably got out a little faster because of that. And I took my profit a little earlier. I was thinking that this could move 50 cents, which would have been on 1,000 shares, about $500, but it ended up being a couple $100 instead. So anyways, overall, it was a good day. Did I trade anything else? QS. Oh, I did last minute see BLNK this morning. It popped up. Same thing, this electric vehicle name. So it popped up a lot in the pre-market, and it faded off, but it held. And then it pushed up again and rejected here at 44. So I got long over 44. And I didn't hold it all the way up to 45.31, but I did get some profit along the way. But so in terms of where we are with the account, so it's great because we've now recovered everything that came to the forefront from that issue of my brokerage, from the brokerage issue day, that caused me to take a significant loss. So, like I said, we'll probably be at about 8,200 or somewhere around there tomorrow. And then, so if we add in the 1,350 that I've taken out of the account, so we're looking at about, we'll say 9,500. And in terms of overall total equity, which would put us at about almost 7,000 in profits. So clearly, that's great. I'm really happy that we're able to secure those profits back, and now I can just hopefully focus on sticking to the routine as I've been and not having that lingering in the back of my head anywhere. I think today's Wednesday. There's 2 more days left in the week. I've noticed generally I have one red day a week, unless I'm on a really good streak of green day after green day after green day. So there's 2 days left in the week. So I'm gonna have to try to be a little more cautious in terms of you know managing risk, as I've been touting about for so often. So I'm gonna have to make sure I manage the risk the next couple of days. I've hit my profit targets this week so far, so things have been going really well. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and we don't want to forget what we're here doing, and managing the risk, and following the strategy and trading the names that we want to, and make sure we're sizing properly and all those little things, because a little slip up can cause an issue to happen. And I definitely feel like I'm going to be less inclined to trade a name that might have came from a smaller price, with a lot of momentum, even though small caps are really hot. And even if it gets into a $10 price range or above, I'm probably going to be a little more hesitant to trade them. And if I do trade them, it might be only be like 100 shares, because the volatility. I very hesitant about getting caught in an issue like I had with the halt, and not having the control within my account, now that I've worked so hard to get it back to where it is. So discipline is the name of the game when it comes to trading, and this is part of it.